Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts.
In this video, I'll be looking at Solomon Kane, The Serpent Ring, Issue 1. Okay, so this is the first issue of Titan's Solomon Kane series. Um, as I mentioned before in my Conan stuff and my Savage Sword reviews, not a massive fan of Solomon Kane. I've not read really anything apart from what was in the comics. But this being the Patrick Zircher artwork, that was really, really good in Savage Sword. I've got to pick it up, really. And yeah, this was good. I like this. So, first things first. The idea that this is set in the real world, so we've got Africa and Norway and all this kind of gives you a lot more idea of what the scale is. Conan wanders around Hyperborea, but we know it's kind of like a past version of Earth, but you don't really know how far he's travelled. But this one, because we have real world kind of references, we know this is kind of like a global span adventure, and it makes it easier to kind of understand what's going on. And I think research has been done here, obviously by Patrick Zircher, to kind of get this stuff to feel right, and I think it's pretty decent. So basically, we open up in Africa, and we've got these two tribes that are basically knocking the crap out of each other. Um, these guys have stolen something from them, and they are being killed en route. Um, sorry, my mistake. Not two tribes. I thought it was two tribes. Anyway, no, sorry. So okay, so these guys have basically gone into Africa. They've stolen this thing from this tribe. They're killed on as they try and escape, and it turns out they are not normal humans. They are something else. Um, and then we cut to Solomon Kane being on this privateer ship, basically raiding other um, countries' trading routes under the name of the Queen. Um, and yeah, this kind of just feels right. It's pretty decent, and it kind of mentions, that is it the right way to do this, and because it's it's not that it's all under a letter of marque rather than but it's still exactly the same as being a pirate. Anyway, so Solomon Kane basically cuts his way through onto the other ship, kills this guy or shoots this guy who believes to be the captain, and it turns out he's not the captain at all. The captain's actually been killed already, and this guy's just a guy who's actually been a passenger on the ship. But he has the stolen item, which appears to be this little statue charm thing, and he promises um, Solomon Kane promises the guy that he will take it to Venice to this other chap, as he's kind of like regrets killing an innocent. So he cut to Venice. So again, this is what makes it so easy. We cut to Venice from Africa, and then and it just seems like we've got kind of global spanning, Indiana Jones style stuff going on. This is and it's easy to locate where we're going. Anyway, so he goes off to these people in Venice are kind of talking about this kind of stuff going on, and and apparently this guy is got these sacred texts. Although they don't want him to know that's him. Simon Kane gets there and he's dropped off and basically gets a little boat and almost starts a mutiny off because they wanted to go elsewhere, and he managed to persuade them to drop him off into this boat and go off towards Venice. He's attacked by these guys en route, which he manages to kill. They shoot him in the leg. Now this is interesting because that is a very good close up of the shot in the leg. So is that going to come back and plague him? Don't know. Eventually, he manages to track down this place, and this guy's studying Africa, and he's an archivist. And then again, we cut to Africa again, where we've got a Christian kind of guy there doing his kind of missionary work, and this old guy that there with this chap, and they're kind of looking around in this field, and they discover this body of this guy who's been killed, and he's got these snake-like fangs on him, which is obviously seems to suggest that he's one of the ones from this other tribe. Um, so Solomon Kane turns up to this guy, and it says about this, it says about the wounds, whatever. And he says, right, okay, I promised to bring this statue back, and you were the one that needs to bring it, and this is it. And it seems a little bit odd because I've been attacked already to try and deliver this, so something definitely is going up. So that kind of draws me into the storyline. So yeah, I thought this was good. This is I don't know. It reminds me kind of like those kind of Eurocomic kind of adventure capery kind of things where like innocents are kind of drawn into pick up the wrong thing and they're drawn into this kind of complex uh kind of mysteries. And obviously Solomon Kane's got a bit more is a bit, not exactly helpless, but the idea is kind of like this is not what he set out to do. He just seems to be drawn into it because of the way he decides to behave after accidentally killing the guy, and that's how he that's the hook that draws him in, and then all this other stuff is going on without him, and he's got not a bloody clue. And that's why I quite like this one because there's a lot of backstory going on here, but it's backstory that actually um, feels relevant. And you kind of like it's kind of like showing the corners pieces of a puzzle, and it's kind of all going to kind of tie up together in the end. And the idea we've got this this tribe in Africa, we've got the statue, we've got the snake people, we got this guy in Venice and all this kind of stuff. Completely unrelated. In at the moment as it stands, apart from the link of this. Um, but eventually, obviously, theoretically, Solomon Kane's going to Africa, theoretically, or snake guys from Africa are coming to Venice to kill these guys. One way or another, it's going to go around. But yeah, I actually did enjoy this one. This felt good. This is like I said before, the real world setting really did help it, and the idea we've got kind of period costumes and the idea about the boats being correct and all looking correct and all this kind of stuff. It just felt right. And with Conan, you can just go, well, these guys dress like this because this is Hyperborea, and there's nothing to say otherwise. So anyway, so yeah, good this one. So we shall be definitely picking the rest of these up. But again, very very happy with the artwork. This is very very cool. Anyway, that's enough rambling for now. So hopefully I will see you on another video very very soon. Thanks very much. Bye bye.